What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. So we're going to start this one off with an update from Stephane Matala. Now, after arriving onto the classic physique scene earlier this year with a pretty unbelievable physique, Stephane Matala went on to win the Sheru Classic France and punch his ticket to the Olympia. Now, a lot of you guys will probably remember Stephane did look phenomenal when he first arrived on the scene. But man, he went through absolute hell to make the classic physique weight cutoff. This is the only competitor I have ever seen strip off so much muscle to make weight. I think it was around like 30 pounds he ended up having to lose. It could have been more. And he was extremely lean when he began his cut. Now, relatively speaking, I think Stephane still maintained a very impressive classic physique, and his posing is well suited for the division as well. As for how he can do at this year's Olympia, well, it is his Olympia debut, and Stephane, I am sure, will take full advantage of this increased weight cap, just like everyone else. But I still think he needs both size and muscle maturity. He does look grainy hard, bursting full in the gym, there's no question there, but that look has not translated over to the stage. He did have good separation in the quads, like the quad feathering was good at the Sheru Classic France, but everything else up top, it just looked a little bit soft. I think he could have used some oil as well, but look, those are all detail things that they can work out before the Olympia. Expectations were very high for Stephane, and I think if he does improve that conditioning and the increase in weight serves him well, he may be able to fight for a spot in around the 10th or 12th place spot this year. But Stephane still has a very long competitive career ahead of him and will continue to follow his progress. Alright, so next up, we have an update here from Hunter Labrada, who has been, I guess, relatively quiet on social media these last 4 weeks or so. Really, since he returned from his trip to Jordan, we really haven't seen very much from Hunter. But at 4 weeks out, Hunter dropped a full round of the mandatory poses in his recent training video. I'll link the entire video in the description below for you guys. And you know, Hunter talks in this video about how he's been on prep for basically 26 weeks now. The remaining weeks of the prep, I think, are going to be especially difficult for him. And in Hunter's career as a pro bodybuilder, this is the longest consistent time that he's been in prep. This is the most shows that he's had to peak for, and I'm wondering how that might affect him on stage this year. Of course, this was all part of Hunter's plan. Him and his coach Ben Chow wanted to gain the experience of doing multiple shows and multiple peaks to really work out the details and then nail it come the Olympia time. I just hope it wasn't too much change too fast for Hunter, because when you think about it, Hunter threw out the old book completely. After 2022, he changed his diet, he changed his training split, he changed everything. And don't get me wrong, I think Hunter looks as good here as he has leading up to either the Tampa or the Texas this year. But could the months of strenuous dieting and peaking within relatively short periods of time start to affect Hunter come the Olympia? Or is the formula creating exactly the scenario that him and Ben were going for? The real question here is if Hunter is a top 5 or top 6 competitor in this year's Olympia lineup. Because, you know, you look at guys out there with opinions. When Big Ramy was asked by Bob Ciccarillo, where do you think Hunter is going to place in this year's Olympia? I mean, he did have him in that top 5 originally when he spoke about him. Some of the other opinions from the top pros out there, I've heard them say the same. But from the fans, not many have Hunter in that top 5. So listen, you guys let me know in the comments below, where do you have Hunter in this Olympia lineup? Alright, so next up, Derek Lunsford decided to go the opposite way of Hunter Labrada and forego any competitions in the 2023 season. Of course, he had the advantage of being automatically qualified, but unlike Hunter, Derek really needed to make significant gains in both terms of muscularity and density. And I'm seeing more and more of the comments from you guys as we get closer to the show. If Derek did not gain that muscle maturity and he shows up without the definition and separation in the front shots that he was lacking at the 2022 Olympia, then he may have to wait another year to get that Olympia title. Now, we do know that Derek has gained some pretty significant size, especially in the quads. His legs look very much improved in both size and definition. His back, I mean, we don't even need to talk about. It's absolutely going to be the best in the show. But when we look at the chest in the most recent update here at 3 weeks out, I think we are seeing more striations through the chest than we saw at the 2022 Olympia. I think we're seeing more through the shoulders as well, and we're seeing the predictions really start to roll out from the bodybuilding world as well. Nobody has Derek lower than second place out there. Most out there have him winning this year. So you know what? I'll leave the question to you guys again. Based on what we're seeing here and now, do you think Derek has made the improvements in order to be crowned the 2023 Mr. Olympia champion? We've still got a few weeks to go, so we'll still see some more updates between now and then, but you guys let me know in the comments below what you're thinking as of right now. Alright, so next up, I've been asked by a fair few of you guys to really throw out an update here from Andrew Jacked, so here we go. Andrew posted some arm training updates at 3 weeks out, and there seems to be some differences in this round at Camp Psycho as compared to the 2023 Arnold Classic Prep. At that time, it was all about carving out the details. Andrew was put through some very high-intensity workouts and really slightly unconventional workouts last year to really carve out those details in his physique. The hamstrings and glutes especially, they were really looking to carve those out. And he did show up absolutely shredded at the Arnold. Now, based on what we saw at Texas, he does still need to bring in that definition in the glutes and hamstrings, but overall, Andrew really needs to fill out that massive frame, and he really needs to bring that muscle. I feel like the entire bodybuilding world would agree. Andrew has the aesthetics of a Mr. Olympia. What he needs is the mass to go along with it. Now, Andrew recently trained with Regan Grimes at Camp Psycho, so I asked Psycho Lewis in a recent live he did on his Instagram, who was bigger, Andrew or Regan, just to get some sort of measuring stick. And here's what he had to say. Check it out.
Who's bigger, Regan
Who's bigger, Regan or Andrew? Okay, I think you guys don't understand how big Andrew is. Andrew is big and he's tall. He's a big dude. We're trying to keep him big and full, but we're going with lines and aesthetics and symmetry and stuff like that. We're not doing size for the sake of size. So Andrew is bigger than Regan.
So if that is indeed the case, does that mean we are all not giving enough credit to Andrew when it comes to the size that he does have? And could he be more of a threat to that top 5 than most are considering? We did get the measuring stick of Andrew versus Hunter at the 2023 Texas Pro, and was Hunter really outsizing Andrew? I mean, I would really have to say that he wasn't, and Hunter is a big guy. Even from the side where Andrew did need to add some more thickness to look bigger, I mean, look, he does need more in the lower half, there's no question, but the upper body was just so big, round, full, especially through the chest. I mean, look, he was beating Hunter from the side in my opinion. So this is part of why I haven't done my predictions as of yet either. There is so much to consider with this caliber of competitors and diversity in the physiques. I'm honestly still working it all out. So again, you guys let me know in the comments below. Where do you have Andrew Jacked placing in this year's Olympia lineup? Anyway, that's it for me in this video, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.